So the boys believe that you could just take any AI tool, Gemini, Perplexity, ChatGPT, and you could predict the outcome to UFC fights. That's not how AI works, fellas, okay? It's not much more intelligent than you, and I'll explain why. So our tools are different here at ProSchmoBets.com because we speak not only the human language of English, but we speak computer language. We speak JavaScript, we speak Python, and we synthesize all of this for you and provide our prediction to you. Now, we don't want to knock the YouTube guy that you follow with predictive analytics, okay? Because we use that too. We take strike percentages, grappling percentages, stat differentials, and we utilize that to make predictions. Now, one step further than that YouTube guy is the guy that has a geometry of a profile on a fighter. Those guys are cool because they're giving you the strengths and weaknesses, right, of fighting styles, disadvantages, advantages, fighter A, fighter B, and that's cool. I'll give you an example of that. We do that work as well. Neil Magny, when his back is against the wall, and it must be against the wall, he must not be in the center of the octagon. He controls the octagon that way. All the minutes, he wins all the minutes, and then he's scoring points. So he has the judges' favors on the scorecards when he's utilizing the clinch, striking, back against the octagon wall, minutes, and he's winning rounds this way. Now, if you have a fighter in fighter B, the blue corner, that can disrupt that in Neil Magny, then there goes that geometry profile. It's over. Right now, what we do is we synthesize all this and have the best AI systems in the world because we add matchmaking to it. We add real-time conversations that our AI tools draw from all social media, okay? Threads, X, Instagram. When you see that fighter replying, we draw that data, okay? It's incredibly important that you understand that these things are vital. Now, matchmaking is very important. Everybody has Tatsuro Taira this weekend over Brandon Moreno. They believe it's the end of the road for Brandon. They believe it is the crossover of generations, that the passing of the torch happens here. And I beg to differ. Thank goodness that we know that Kyoji Haraguchi has been signed to the UFC and just saw him with Tagir Ulanbekov. Because had we not had that data, we would not be able to matchmake it. So, in addition to our systems and tools like the Cullinan One that goes drawing data from the vice scripts of the UFC rep that goes around at the fighter hotel, the UFC PI, the UFC venues to get the strength of fighters. Yeah, thank God for all of that. We also have the fortune to be able to match make using our AI system. That's how we differ from ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity.com. We really challenge them as they've challenged us with predictive analytics to be able to get here today. All right, now, we really like that Brandon Moreno would fight Manel Kape for a title defense. So, Brandon Moreno wins his fight with Tatsuro, and Manel Kape wins his fight against Brandon Royval the following Saturday. And Pantoja defeats this guy here, Joshua Van. I'm looking forward to this fight with Manel Kape and Pantoja. When Manel Kape defeats him, I'd like to see Brandon Moreno be the first title defense to Manel Kape. And here comes Kyoji Haraguchi. Haraguchi defeated Manel Kape. There's bad blood there. He also defeated Kaya Sakura. But his last loss was Patchy Mix. So that prism, that paradigm of matchmaking is a very favorable one that our machine learning system detected. Okay, so hopefully that makes a lot of sense. ProSchmoBets.com for your fight card this weekend, UFC 323. So we open up the fight card with Naimov and Marion Santos. Marion Santos being a very wide favorite, and it's justifiable. Most people are going to argue and they'll say, hey, Naimov is a great grappler. He has technique when he's level changing. He's taken down nearly all his opponents. Where I'll argue with you that his level changes to me are very amateur. I don't like his offensive grappling. It's like you're arguing to me someone that has a penetration step, doubles off on an inside tie push pull, when Myron Santos is sprawling and brawling and is a technical guy that does not allow you to close your range and plays the distance against you. We've seen it with Daniel Marcos, and if anything, we like the matchmaking better with a Myron Santos win over Naimov, where he can face Diego Lima, Miles Johns, or potentially Daniel Marcos himself. All right, so we have old boy here, Myron Santos on the money line. Mansour Abdul Malik talking about exceptional grappling. This guy, state level wrestling, just a great fighter to see because he's well rounded in his striking and his grappling. Antonio Cherkely, too committed, not just to the heartbreak in Mackenzie Dern, because their relationship is now done and over with, but he's a poker player now, so he's got no more skin in the game. Ibo Aslan, Iwo Barnioshki. We know we don't want to go wrong with the skis, man. Last time everyone bet, the world bet against the ski, we lost money, and that was against Patchy Mix. All right, so Ibo Aslan, we know he's slugging it out, man. He's brawling you in there. He's going for the finish. So if you bet this fight, it's Ibo Aslan by KO, TKO, or you take Iwo Barnioshki. All right, on the money line. That's the only way you could bet it. Remember, we don't do predictions. We do bets here. We do money. We talk money. Edson Barboza, Jalen Turner on the money line. Edson Barboza is going to need to play his spacing and his cards right to balance out the power, the cardio, and his advantage with striking, chopping down Jalen Turner. Jalen's got the grappling, man. He's going to mount Edson and sub this boy. I can't wait because there's so many matches that you can make here with a Jalen Turner win. So this is the resurgence of Jalen Turner. I like that, man. And then Marvin Vettori. What a confident play here. We got Marvin Vettori on the money line. Listen, guys, our machine learning system's very real. We deploy these AI tools and we fetch for data, and what we get back helps us make these predictions. It's incredible. Hopefully one day we get so sophisticated where we could determine the fighter's metabolic rate or total energy expenditure. And I'm laughing because to get there, we're going to have to assess their bodies entirely, right? That there's three ways that the human body creates energy, right? It's through creatine, phosphate, anaerobic glycolysis, and then you have oxidative phosphorylation. And oxidative phosphorylation is like how the energy kicks in later but lasts forever. And so these things in how the body creates give you a metabolic rate, give you total energy expenditure numbers, and if some are lower or higher, then the variance on the bet would be either higher risk or lower risk. And so it's exciting to think about what the future holds in AI. Dana White made Polymarket as alive as can be, providing you with real-time data and stats. So predictive analytics are going to be like accelerated now that he's actually allowing for that. I guess it's his call. So yeah, we have Marvin Vettori on the money line. There's absolutely no way this guy Bruno Ferreira is undersized. He's too small. His proportions don't mix well. The fighting style doesn't mix well. I think Vettori's gonna knock his ass out. It's been a long time Vettori's knocked anybody out. And believe it or not, I know he didn't do well with Brandon Allen, and his brother had passed away. Everyone was betting the news. So no, absolutely not. Sell the news. And that's pretty much what we did, right? So we didn't buy the rumor, we sold the news, and that's it. So yeah, man, that's it. Marvin Vettori he's in great shape. You guys have absolutely no idea Visit the grids on Instagram. You'd be surprised. Fares Ziam, Nazim Sadikov. Well, our system detected a red flag here. The fact that Nazim Sadikov was the underdog told us everything we needed to know. That the UFC, if the casinos would have made Nazim Sadikov the favorite, then clearly it would have been we would have been alerted for a bust here, complete bust, a parlay buster of epic proportions. All right, he would have had the highest betting splits, public bets on parlays and cash, and it would have been a very easy fade. Now, the problem here is not just the grappling of Nazim, but also the low kicks, man. Fares does not fare well with that. So that's how we knew that, the styles that make fights here for Fares are not that of Nazim. Most people are going to bet Fares because he's already defeated one of Nazim Sadikov's teammates from the Ray Longo gym in New York, but that's not happening. So, yeah, man, he's just going to close him off against the octagon wall. He's pressuring forward. Nazim is not going on his back foot at all for this young man. And the wrestling's going to be difficult, but we'll see. I just know that the edge is on Sadikov through and through here. So, hey, listen, we will provide you with a synopsis of this. All you have to do is go on ProSchmoBets.com. You'll get all our bets. You'll get all our predictions in a summary, a write-up. Okay, so then we have clearly Macy Barber, Karine Silva, no round 3 cardio. Macy Barber, top control dominance. What you saw Tracy Cortez not be able to do when she was on her back or when she was on her side, you're going to see Macy Barber do. Karine Silva has a good wrestling pedigree. Her striking, very predictable. Macy boxes inside, long. Karine Silva is going to be throwing those overhands. She could potentially get finished on her feet, especially in the third round. But, yeah, I'd like to see Macy just dominate her. A submission would be ideal because of that whole bad blood that you can actually start to capitalize on with an Erin Blanchfield submission win over Tracy. That's nuts. Terrence McKinney, Chris Duncan. Man, Chris is a big guy. I'd like to see Terrence McKinney win here, but I think these guys are going to roll around and someone's getting submitted, and it's not going to be Chris Duncan. I could guarantee you that. The striking exchanges, they're just going to be too damaging. It's going to be going left and right, so I think McKinney's just going to be the first to just give up and resort to the grappling, man, and I think at that point he's going to get submitted by Chris Duncan. Chris Duncan has offset everybody striking and boxing, man. The best of the best, man, prospects in there. He's offset that. So all these striking differentials that you see of Terrence McKinney with finishes included, absolutely not, man. Chris is just angling off better. He's too alive in here. Grant Dawson, man. Manuel Torres, man. What are you doing at lightweight? You're way too big, brother. You're a welterweight. Fill in, move on with your life. But Grant Dawson is going to submit him. As a number 13, we need the lightweight division to move up. All right, and with that loss to Bobby Green, we know that this is a layup, man. We're trying to build the young guys because the old heads have to go, man. The top 5, top 8 have to go, man. All right, we have John Blachowicz, Bogdan Guskov. Hey, John Blachowicz, 2 double shoulder surgeries, looked all right with Carlos Uber going to unanimous decision. But Bogdan is a pressure fighter, man. He's going to clip John, man. There's no way. John can only get it done with the takedowns, but Bogdan Guskov can scramble, man. He's great. I have no idea how people are betting John Blachowicz. It's unbelievable. Henry Cejudo. Peyton Talbot is too big, bro. He's way too tall. Raoni Barcelos only had it. Peyton Talbot where he wanted him because Peyton Talbot was being sloppy, was showboating. He thought he could polish in there some crazy moves and stuff, and absolutely not. You can't be a showman against veterans, and he ain't gonna do that here against Henry Cejudo. Henry Cejudo, the number 10 bantamweight, absolutely not. Let's give Peyton Talbot a ranking, and we'll see Henry Cejudo leave in the Taoist humbling grace of what it is the UFC philosophy is. A veteran going out on a loss. All right, here we go. We're going to move on. And then we got Brandon Moreno. We talked about this. Very simple matchmaking here. Brandon Moreno, hey, we could use him better. He's got the boxing. He's got the grappling. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Skill set, we'll type that out for you. We'll provide that at proshimobets.com. And but yeah, Brandon Moreno's definitely getting through here. Tatsuro Taira, man, he left Perillo's gym. He left the Ruka gym. Why, man? Had he polished his hands up a bit in this long time, 6 to 8 months, we would have seen a different Tatsuro Taira, man. Who knows? Maybe Dana phoned Jason Perillo and said, yo, you got to cut that kid out. Don't teach him the ways, because we need Brandon Moreno through, and he's going to face him next. I'm not saying Tatsuro won't be a champion and he's not worthy of being top 5, top 3, top 10. Absolutely not. He will be champion, but he's only 25, folks. Come on, let's move it. You know, he's being match made for a reason. Not only that, but you know, old boy here, he's got potential still. Brandon Moreno can get his fights going. Kyoji Haraguchi, Manel Cap, you know, there's bad blood there, right? Manel Cap's facing Royval here soon. Pantoja, right? Pantoja's got to fight Manel Cap. Manel Cap is next, you know, as soon as he defeats Brandon Royval. So what are we doing? Alexander Pantoja, Joshua Van's got a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he's developing his striking sequences. His shot selection is not limited. It is vast. He's got an array of tools, but we've seen judo trips and sweeps from Bruno Silva against Joshua Van. We've seen Brandon Royval with the jab. It's just the timing that wasn't right. Pantoja is relentless, man. He chains his striking to his dominant grappling, and he can wrestle too. That's the problem here. I don't think it'll be an easy fight for Pantoja, because Joshua Van is quick and he's learned too much in the last 2 years, way too much, and he's going to capitalize that on Pantoja. But I do see a submission for Pantoja in round 3 or 4. All right, so this fight I have not going the distance and Pantoja winning. Clearly, for all intents and purposes. We'll provide you a synopsis of the skill set. All you got to do is reach out to us, proshimobets.com. Merab, Petr Yan. We have Petr Yan on the money line. 29-28 decisions, all right, through and through, even in the 5-rounders, close decisions for Merab Dvalishvili. We have this Petr Yan, Jose Aldo, all close decisions. Henry Cejudo, all close decisions. Sean O'Malley, 1 close decisions. You know, and he got stabbed by Sean O'Malley in the gut, in the liver, man. It was almost a fatal ending for Merab, UFC Noche. All right, I'll give him that. He got the submission on Sean, and yeah, Corey looked terrible, but we know Corey is too big for bantamweight. That man needs to move on to featherweight. What is he doing? What a dork. We're trying to bully your way through those rankings, the bantamweight rankings. That's it. Your number's up. You came through with Merab. You got dominated. Petr Yan, bro, he's going to win, and he's getting the rematch on the UFC fight card. This man commands like Khabib. Petr Yan's got a crazy audience, and he has favor with the UFC. We have this data to prove these things off of conversations that have happened during his time he was champion, during the time he was disqualified, during the time he had to give up his belt, through his losses. We know who Petr Yan is, the fighter profile as well here with Merab Dvalishvili. Petr Yan is leaps and bounds credentialed the fighter that Merab is. I'm not downplaying or discrediting Merab, but these are just the facts, man. Petr Yan is a great submission grappler. He's got judo in his background. He's got Thai boxing, kickboxing. What doesn't this guy have? He has dirty boxing. He's got everything you could potentially imagine in a fighter. Petr Yan is the guy. So I like Merab to give up the belt here. It screws Umar Nurmagomedov over, which is funny, but I think that's the intent here with Merab. Give him the rematch, and I don't think Merab's ever fighting Umar again. I don't even think the UFC expects for Merab to lose, to be honest with you. I really think they think he's going to win. He ain't. Let's go. You heard it here first.